people, how are you all? I'm back again with another episode of Mona Lisa's Talk Show. And today I have another interesting guest with me. She's an author of two short book of short stories, and I will soon introduce her. But let me first quickly tell you that this video is going to be part of my podcast through Poetry Closet on Spotify, and also will be uploaded on my YouTube channel as part of video podcast series. And if you don't know me, I'm Mona Lisa Joshi. I'm an author, poet, publisher, novelist, and all my books are available on Amazon. Go find them, by Books by Mona Lisa Joshi, and The Red Ganges Rakta Ganga is my latest novel. Go check it out. So let me quickly invite our guest today. Hi, Bernali Roy. How are you?
Hello. Hi. It's a pleasure
Good
to
to
meet
have you
you.
on today's show.
Yes,
Same, the
my
pleasure
pleasure
is all
too.
mine. Yeah. I've been meaning to do this with you for quite a long time, but somehow, there were other episodes happening. So finally, I'm glad that I'm with you today and doing this live. And I'm really keen to know a lot about you.
Yes. Thank you.
So I will
It's an
just
honor for
quickly
me.
read. Yeah, same. So I'll just quickly read your small intro to the audience, and then we
Yes.
can start
Please.
conversing.
Sure.
Banali Roy is an accomplished author with two books of short stories to her credit. Her first published book, Pebbles in the Sand, was well appreciated by the readers. She published her second book, Fragrance of Dried Flowers, last December. It's a collection of slice of life short stories about urban young people grappling with problems that are common in today's world. She's a prolific writer and blogger, and she maintains two of her blogs. And we are going to talk a lot about all these things. Let's start the interview. So tell me, Bernali, first question that always strikes my mind is any author, whoever has come so far on my show, I ask them, how did your writing journey start? So you have to tell me.
Yeah, actually, right from a childhood, I was very much interested in, putting my thoughts to paper. And I was very vocal also. But eventually, what happened with age, I started becoming less vocal through my audio and more vocal through my words, more
Okay.
verbose. So I started writing and I thought, why not start my online journal? So I started my blog, bernaliviews.blogspot.com, and I
Okay.
started writing anything that came to my mind, anything I felt very hurt about, or anything which moved me, or anything I felt strongly about in public domain. I started writing about it, and that was about 10 years back. Now the blog is grown leaps and bounds and has got a lot of visitors visiting it regularly. So, that way I started formalizing my writing journey. Before that, too, I used to do sketch, doodle, and write a bit, off and on. I won an best article prize in my college
Okay.
for a travel article. And so I used to even write it during my corporate life. Everybody used to, come to me for writing press releases and, company write-ups or, these kind of things. So writing was always in my blood. Now this way, through my blog, I started making it more than just a hobby. It became a passion. And then I got into content writing also. I was writing content for several big companies, and I used to write various type of varied topics on various topics, basically SEO content. The content that goes to the websites or goes to the web pages and or facts, frequently asked questions and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow my creativity was not being satisfied. This
Okay.
kind of writing which follows very specific conditions, that you have to write only on this topic, you have to use these keywords,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to keep on praising one particular product or a service. That was very mundane. It was not satisfying me. So I became a little disinterested. And on in my free time, I started writing short stories. Now, my first short story was actually my personal experience. I based on my experience with my aged father, who had dementia and who, after prolonged struggle with the disease, passed away about 10 years back. So that episode affected me mentally for a long time. And somehow, I couldn't make peace with the fact that I was not being able to help him, or I was not being able to ease his pain. So all that pain came out on paper, and it became a short story towards darkness in my first book, Pebbles in the Sand. So that was my first literary venture. Slowly, I started observing other people's stories also. I started observing what's going on around me. And then the pandemic came. It was a painful experience. So I vocalized all this in short stories. And I brought out my first book of short stories, Pebbles in the Sand. And this was the book. It's still selling on Amazon, and it was very well received on Amazon and got good reviews. In fact, the number of good reviews I got for my first book actually encouraged me to continue writing. Otherwise, I would have given up. As you know, self-publishing is no joke, and it's very, very disheartening. Unless you are really, motivated and you have got loads of money, you cannot continue self-publishing. Now, it's only the reader's feedback that goaded me to write further and continue writing. So this about it.
Nice. So I would like to ask you that Fragrance of Dried Flowers is your second book,
Yes.
and
Yes.
it's a book of short stories. So how does the
Yes.
title is significant or reflection of all the stories in the book?
Now, this title came to me suddenly as a brainwave. I was writing a story and I was thinking what could be the title. And since it has got a significant amount of gardening and flowers in it, I thought, why not write, fragrance, something which has a paradox in it, a dichotomy. Fragrance of dried flowers. Generally, dried flowers don't have any fragrance. So why am I saying fragrance of dried flowers? It's because I am trying to find out beauty in the most unexpected places, in the places where it is not expected to exist. I am thinking of finding out beauty or fragrance in broken people, in people who have been given off, written off by society, failures, people who can't fit in, misfits. Those people, they have a place in society. They can make a difference to our lives, and that is what my Fragrance of Dried Flowers book is all about. It's in fact it has got 9 stories, and all the stories are about people who have been hurt, disillusioned, broken, defeated, or maybe are flawed in some way or the other. So
How did
I
you get
wanted
the
to.
idea of writing on these topics? Have you observed these kind of people around you, or maybe it's like you're
Yes,
part of
yes, yes.
imagination?
I had a teenage daughter, and I saw the struggles which they had to face. This new generation has to face a whole lot of problems which we couldn't even imagine. We had our own adolescent problems, no doubts about it. But the current generation, the problems they are facing, the way my daughter's friends were struggling with self-image, with bullying issues, with parents' expectations, overweight of parents' expectations. And I myself used to go to my child's school and college, and I used to hear parents always criticizing their children. So I felt, what do we expect out of these people, and what do these people feel about themselves after hearing such a lot of negative backlash from their parents and society? We tend to dismiss them off like they are not serious, they are not serious about life, they only are always on internet. But actually they are very, very much serious about life, they are very much involved in issues. Only thing is that they tend to get put off by the superficiality of it all. Our generation tends to use nice words and use hypocritical gestures, but they are very direct, they are very, very they'll tell you on your face, you suck.
Exactly.
So I wanted to actually connect with them, and that is why I my stories are more about young people. It's about their struggles, it's about actually I identify the most with them, because in
Okay.
fact a bit of me is still stuck in my teenage and in my youth, where I didn't feel that everybody could understand me, I was misunderstood, I was I was not given a choice. So maybe I'm stuck in that time. So I can identify with these people who are struggling with various issues. And that is
So
why I
basically, you
started
find,
writing them.
okay, you basically found some, like venting out your own emotions through your stories and
Exactly,
also observing the
absolutely,
people around
absolutely.
you.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
In fact, that is right. More than my first book, my second book is mostly drawn from my personal experiences and the experiences which I have faced or because people around me, of people whom I've observed, whom I have interacted with. So
Yeah.
you can say it's from my personal, drawn from my personal experiences.
I've been to the story in your book till this fragrance of dried flowers, which is the titular story from your book. And I
Yeah.
feel whatever you are saying is kind of, it's playing in my mind because I can see that
Yes.
character who is being neglected,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
from
Yes.
her own parents. And ultimately, what happens is like, yeah, she blooms in the end. The
Yes.
way she
Yes.
is,
Yes. Yes.
she picturizes herself that she is not accepted. So
Yes.
that is
Yes.
somehow,
Yes.
yeah,
Even
I feel
in
that you
the
have.
in the in the story, where can I wash off the shame? Can I wash off the shame is based on a personal experience again. It is maybe to a certain extent it reflects my own disappointment, my own struggles, and also those my friends who you suffered from whenever the board exams come out. It's a very traumatic time for the young generation, yes, for their parents also, but you must see that they are at that moment standing at a place where they are very, very unsure of themselves, and when you put the weight of your entire expectations on them, it's really unfair and it crushes them. So that is how then again, even body shaming. Body shaming is something which we do very casually, and
Yeah.
maybe we say he's fat, she's short, he's dark, but it affects the person very much. And I myself was quite plump during my childhood, during my growing up years, so I have faced it myself. So whatever is there in my stories, certain amount of it is always drawn from my personal experiences, from what I have myself gone through, and that is why these stories are very close to my heart.
Okay. So, did you get any beta readers or maybe the younger generation to read through your books and how the stories have been accepted by them so far?
Yes, my beta reader is at home itself. My daughter, she gave me plenty of feedback. In fact, she made me change endings of various stories, and she
Okay.
frankly told me, "Look, this doesn't sound genuine. This doesn't look
Okay.
genuine. You are just trying to pull up something. So better do the correction right now." Now, her
Okay.
friends have been my first beta readers. They have really liked my first book, and they have, really given me good feedback. And I really cherish when a young person can relate to, can see himself or herself in one of the characters, and can pursue the reading habit, because frankly speaking, young people don't read anymore. That way,
True.
the way we used to read. So
Yeah, yeah.
if my stories, resonate with them, they feel that maybe I can find some solace after reading the struggles of another person. Then I think my work is done.
True, true. Well said. Now I have another interesting question, and that is
Yeah.
that why did you choose to write mostly about? You have told me already, but I want to know that mostly we see that women tend to write mostly on women.
Yes.
They try to
Yes.
show their plight, the atrocities towards them, the
Yes.
confine they
Yes.
are bound in. But none of your stories, I guess, speak about that. So,
Well, they
is it
don't.
there? Is
They
there
don't
any
feature.
particular?
Yes, yes, you are right. As I said, I was mainly concerned with the young generation mostly. But even in this, you will find I'm talking about the mothers. And
Okay.
in mothers, in the stories of the mothers, like for example, and she smiled again. I've spoken about domestic abuse. It is a part of the story in a very subtle manner, but it is there. The mother is suffering from domestic abuse and she cannot support her daughter. Even in Broken Mirrors, the book, the story about body shaming and voyeurism, the mother is rejected by the father because she has grown fat and ugly, and she has not got out of the trauma. So
Okay.
in the story, healing, for example, healing is about sexual abuse in childhood, which is carried over to young age, and then the girl, now she's in her 20s, she is still not come out of that backlash, and she hurts herself again and again, and it's only when she can help another person who's in a similar situation that she realizes that yes, she is also in the power of giving, and she heals herself along with that person. So, in this manner, I have approached women's issues. For those who are interested in reading about women's issues, I would like to say that my next book focuses mostly on women. So,
Okay.
uh, in fact, I have two books coming up. It's one is a novella in which a young woman is the central character. In fact, it's a journey of a young woman who goes from teenage to middle age, and the various crises she faces and how she deals with it. So that is about him, and I am also ready with my next lot of short stories, which have all kinds of protagonists, right from young women to mothers to older women, or even people who are say facing motherhood or challenges like that. So I'm slowly growing, and you can understand that even as a writer,
Yeah.
a person grows.
True.
First we start writing about what we are comfortable with, and then we start approaching those gray areas,
Yeah.
where we ourselves are afraid to approach, and then once we get confident, we start off writing of those places where maybe even we need some amount of healing or some amount of closure
Yeah.
ourselves. So
Exactly.
maybe this is the way I'm progressing, and I'm going on to more complex, a little more nuanced characters in my next novels.
Okay. Lovely. So, from your profile, I noticed that you maintain two blogs. So, tell me about
Yeah.
them.
My first blog, barnaliviews.blogspot.in, is about anything I want to write about. It has got film reviews, book reviews, reviews of shows, and also of general topics like how to face interviews, how to hone your body language, how to build your confidence. This is because I was a soft skill trainer once, And I spent a lot of time interacting with young people, dealing with confidence issues. So many of my blogs write about how to build your confidence, how to deal with guilt, how to deal with not feeling uh, good about yourself, uh, mental health. My blog deals with all these topics, and there are some light-hearted topics also, like reviews of films which I've seen, or reviews of shows which I have seen. So this is
Okay.
a blog which I maintain, and it has got a variety of topics on almost everything under the earth. There is another blog I maintain, which is about my hobby, or rather my my hobby by default. Actually, when once you're married, you have to cook, and I hated cooking.
Okay.
Okay, so slowly, very very slowly, I started developing a love towards food and towards cooking, and now I am a pro. People say that, and I have devised many of my own recipes, and I'm also a restaurant reviewer and a Zomato food critic. So I have a separate blog, yummyfoodinkolkata.com, .blogspot.com, which is on food reviews and recipes, cooking tips, etc., etc. So these are my two blogs, and I actually write on all these variety of topics. Uh, cooking is and cooking and food reviews and restaurant reviews is only on yummyfoodinkolkata.blogspot.com.
Okay. In all the cases I've seen, like people I've met from mostly like from Bengal or Kolkata, they are
Yeah.
naturally like good cooks.
Thank you.
Yeah, they are
Thank
vying
you.
for good cook, and they love to eat. Food is like
Yes,
their
yes,
love
yes.
language. I'm a Bengali
Yes,
too, so I can understand.
absolutely. Actually, Bengalis love to eat, and I'm no exception. But there is a slight difference between me and other Bengalis in the sense that I love all kinds of cuisine, and because I spent a lot of my life in North India, so I am very fond of North Indian cuisine. Even Western cuisine and things like butter chicken, chole bhature, paneer makhni, and all those things. Of course, now all Bengalis make them at home also, but my mother used to make them when it was not so prevalent. Rajma masala and all those things.
Since,
So
since you have created so many new recipes, you might be able to come up in the future with some cookbook or something.
I wish. Actually, I wanted to come up with a story come cookbook, a cookbook which has a
Okay.
story interwoven in it. It is
Got
at the back of my mind, and I do plan to do it, in fact, in future. Let's see.
future.
For that, I really need the support of my readers, because unless, very frankly speaking, unless you sell, you don't have the urge to write further. You don't have the urge to publish further. So, and self-published authors have to do their own marketing, their own publicity, their own review. I mean, they have to ask their friends to write reviews and things like that. Distribution also we have to do ourselves. So it
Yeah.
is actually a little. It gets a little depressing and a little gloomy at times. But
Okay.
yes, I am trying to keep my spirits high. Yes,
Now you should not stop writing in any case if that books are
yes,
not selling. That should not depress you, because I think creative work is something that is like for forever. So it
yes,
stays.
absolutely.
So you
Ab-
never know who comes and picks your book and reads. So keep on writing. Keep that spirit,
Thank you, thank you, thank you,
within you.
thank you, thank you.
Now I have to come to this question, since you've been mentioning that you are self-published, and I'm mostly trying to connect with people who are self-published, because it is a difficult path for authors
Yes,
to get published in the initial stage, and then
absolutely.
the next stage is quite difficult to promote themselves. So I would love to know
Ab-
that, did you face any challenges throughout the
Many.
process?
Many, many, many. In fact, I was thinking of writing a book on how to, what kind of mistakes to avoid while publishing your first book. Because my first publisher promised me something and went back on her words, and it turned out a disappointment. Even the book, I did not like its appearance, its size. I felt very. My second publisher did a good job of the book. The book, looked good. It had a lot of, attractiveness. But then after a few copies, she just lost interest, and she stopped supporting me. So I had a very bad experience with both my publishers, because though self-published, I used the services of traditional publishers to come out with copies, do physical distribution. But then I feel that most self-supported publishing is actually a very gray area, where publishers really take advantage of you, and they make their moolah based on your creativity. So once they get the lump sum amount, their job is done, and they just leave you like a hot potato. So it's a very very gray area. I wish there were more small publishers who came up and supported new authors. Nowadays, new authors are only being supported if they have a celebrity presence on Facebook or on Insta, or they are mini kind of mini celebrities themselves. But I wish genuinely good writing is also supported. Okay, we can do it jointly. I mean, a publisher can pitch in something, I can pitch in something, we can do joint marketing. That kind of thing can be done. But sadly, my experience has been very discouraging in this field, and I really hope it improves in future, because otherwise people like me get discouraged, and will probably stop writing, because there is a limit to self-financing your own writing. You cannot do it forever. So
Yeah.
this is what I feel. There should be more encouragement to good, writing and things like that. There are some agencies, I see them coming up with contests and things like that. I wish they are doing a good job, and I hope that they continue doing it. Continue, encouraging new authors.
Mhm.
Definitely. And I think you are doing a good job also, Mona Lisa, by coming up with a magazine, and also with a podcast which encourages authors like me. I think you are doing a very commendable job. You bought my book without even my requesting you to do so. So I am really thankful to you, and I wish there were more people like you in the publishing industry.
Thank you. I'm sure there you will find many good people, because the world is not a small place. It's a big world, and there are good
Yes,
people
yes,
there. And
yes.
in any case, even if somebody is not, there's a saying na, that even if nobody is watching, you should dance. So
Absolutely.
I believe in
Yes.
that. Even if nobody is
Yes.
walking with me, I can walk alone, as long as
Yeah,
my
yeah, yeah.
wings are big. So I believe in that, because throughout the process of publishing and also writing my own books, self-publishing them, of course, they're coming out from my own publishing house. So I've seen many things.
Yeah.
The whole journey has taught me so many ups and downs itself. But
Exactly.
so far, I
Exactly.
haven't given up. I hope to keep it this way.
Great, great, great. We should learn from you.
It's just my humble attempt. I'm just trying
No,
to
no,
reach
no.
out
It's
to.
it's a very good thing. Very good thing. Excellent thing. And even the fact that you're coming up with a podcast which encourages new authors, which encourages authors to share about their books and their journey, is very commendable, because
Yeah.
most podcasts focus on famous authors and popular authors. So if you are doing this, it's a service to the community, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart.
So sweet of you. Okay, so if you want to read something from your book, then we can start with something interesting. That is the last attraction of our show.
Sure,
So maybe
sure,
you can
sure.
read something from your book.
Just give me a moment. Give me a moment.
Sure.
Okay, I'll read from the story, Fragrance. I'll read from the story Get Lost from my book, Fragrance of Dried Flowers. I'm reading from the middle, so just try to, understand the situation.
Yeah,
The
sure.
scraggly lot picked up their gamchas, dusted themselves, and prepared to leave. They had had enough of sampling the high life. It was time to return to their hobbles. Sohail sighed. Life could be so cruel. His attention turned to the man of the moment. He came forward to introduce himself. Hi, sir. I'm Sohail. I'm a huge fan of your music. Have always been. Your lyrics are so inspiring, so deep. Deven gave a nod and a half a smile. Great, you think that. Keep supporting our music, he said, and prepared to walk away. He was used to attention and fawning admirers everywhere. Sohail then did something he hadn't planned. He outstepped his boundaries. Sir, could you please read the small ballad I've written? It's inspired by your songs, and I've dedicated it to you. Please, sir, could you please tell me how you feel about it? Sohail was surprised at his own pleading voice. Normally, he never asked for favors from anyone. It wasn't his nature. But Devin was something else. He was more of a childhood idol. And Sohail was super impressed by the way he had so expertly handled the tricky situation. Plus, it may have been that the stardust had rubbed off on him. He looked with eager eyes towards his hero. Devin was in no mood to humor random youngsters, though. Sorry, kids, some other time. I have an appointment in a minute. Have to rush. He was looking elsewhere while speaking, obviously distracted. A call came and he started speaking on his cell phone. Sohail waited patiently for him to end the call. A few men appeared from nowhere and tried to shove him sideways. He made one last desperate attempt. Sir, please, if you could give me your number or email ID, I could send you some of my poetry. I could really benefit from your feedback and guidance, sir. Please, it means a lot. A thin man who seemed to be Deven's agent cut him off briskly. Sir doesn't have time for all this. Please leave a message on his official page. Here's his card. Thank you. This part which I've read out is similar to what we authors face when we approach a famous author. It's in fact again from my own personal experience. I have a favorite author, and I approached her once at a literature festival, saying that, "Ma'am, could you please read my book? I'm giving it to you. I've dedicated it to you." But she just, walked away and said that I really don't have time for all this. So I was just wondering, what does it take to be kind? What is the cost of kindness? What would have been done? My book was, this. It's my book is just this much, and it could have easily fitted into her handbag if she would have just taken it just to keep my heart. But she just said that she didn't have space, she didn't do this, so please send it later and all this. So I was, I was hurt. I must say I was hurt. And I also realized that nobody dispenses kindness for free. You always have a give and take relationship. Either you gain something and you give something, or, you are so famous that people give you something for free. So this part, is actually from that experience.
Yeah. Even I have experienced many such things, like when I started my journey, and I started myself as a poet. So I self-published my poetry books, and it was quite, like 250 pages somewhere. So it was like a baby to me, very precious. And I approached
First books are babies, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
I guess all the books are babies, then slowly they become precious to us, no matter what.
Yes.
But the first authors remain special. So I approached this famous author. I won't name her, but she simply said that I don't have time. I don't review books.
Yes,
Either you
exactly.
We don't buy books. Firstly, you have to gift it to me. So I was like, then how does this thing fit in? Into the pattern of readers or writers supporting writers.
Absolutely,
That really happens, I would say.
Absolutely, absolutely. That is the thing which stayed with me, and somehow it came out in the story where I have said about a young boy beating his idol and asking him to just read and give feedback, but even that person doesn't have time for that. So all our experiences somehow weave themselves in our books. Somehow they come in one form or the other, and they become a part of our stories.
Yeah. And you would be happy to know that my bookmark just stays in the mid of this story. Only I've read this much, the part you just read out.
Really?
I've read
Okay.
this far, yeah.
Okay, okay.
And then I just had
Okay,
to
okay.
finish one anthology which has come out. It's soon going
No,
to
no,
be
no. I
launched as well.
understand.
So I
I
got
understand.
busy.
Definitely.
I have some time now,
Right.
so I'll surely finish your book.
Sure, 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 sure.
So let's do the rapid fire round. This segment I
Yes.
have just added from the last session, and
Okay.
the last time my guest found it very interesting. Hope you enjoyed too.
Yes,
So
yes, yes.
let's
Absolutely.
shall I
Okay.
begin?
Sure, sure.
Okay. What is your favorite thing to do to pass time?
I love to view series on web series, either on the phone or on my TV or laptop. And I also love to do crosswords. Crossword, is the kind of duty for me. I do it every day. It's a ritual. I solve the Telegraph crossword every day. And I
That's
like reading, of course, writing, blogging whenever possible.
Mhm. That's very interesting actually, because I think I've done it long back. I don't have the time anymore. So, what are you reading these days?
I am reading Unspoken by Shadmishtha Guptu. She's also a new author,
Okay.
and I have this policy that I always support, new authors. I always, in the Calcutta Book Fair, whenever I go, I look out for new authors, particularly women authors, who are coming out with their literary ventures. And I am reading this book Unspoken by Sharmishta Guptu, which is quite interesting. I find it interesting. I'm also reading a book by young new authors, new women authors called She Writes. It's published by Penguin. I think it was published a few years back. And it has got all young people, young girls who have written their stories. So I'm also reading that. And I'm also reading Farah Bashir's book on Kashmir, No Rumors, Rumors of Spring, which is a very painful read. In fact, she has written about her experiences of her childhood in Kashmir. So these three I am, simultaneously reading these days.
Nice. If not a writer, what would have been your way of expression?
I was actually a very vocal speaker. I used to do elocution. I used to teach. I used to train. So I would have been a teacher, I suppose, if I wouldn't have been an author. But since I left teaching and the vocal expression, I started using my words.
Okay, nice. Which short story of which writer has stayed with you till day?
Uh, Arranged Marriage by Chitra Banerjee Divakaruni. It was a book of short stories in which two stories. One was the story of a maid servant, the tale of a maid servant, and an ideal life. These two stories touched me so much that you won't believe I cried. I wept buckets, while reading them. And at that moment, I thought that if someone could move so much, somebody so much through words, then really a writer has a very great role to play in society. That was a cathartic moment for me, reading and simultaneously going through that. And I also read several short stories by other authors also. Like I said, I'm reading this a collection of short stories by new authors. So they give me a perspective of how young people think, what their issues are, things like that.
So do you have any particular time, or you can read on the go?
No, actually, I don't read very much. Actually, to tell you the truth, I'm always on the mobile browsing, and it's only at night after dinner that I read a bit. But I still try to make it a habit, an everyday habit, that I read some pages before I go to sleep.
Yeah, true. Mobile phones
Mobile
have,
addiction has taken
spoiled
over.
us a
Yeah,
lot.
absolutely,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. So the next question is, what displeases you the most in today's world?
Hypocrisy, hypocrisy, and fake behavior. I think I am very much put off by that. I can't stand it. In fact, I always remove myself from the company of hypocritical people, or people who say something and mean something else, or who always try to pose like something, put on a mask. I really can't stand those people. This is what puts me off.
I can understand. Your favorite author and why? I guess you have told so many, but still, let's see. Who's your favorite author?
Agatha Christie.
Okay. And why?
Well, she writes wonderful, the best mysteries, and I have read each and every mystery of hers. In fact, I have done a doctorate on Agatha Christie. So, I really enjoy reading her books, and
That's
whenever
really
I
modest of
feel.
you. You are a PhD holder and you didn't mention in your
No,
profile.
no, I am not. I am not.
Okay.
Can be assumed to be a PhD holder. I'm not a PhD holder. I'm just a postgraduate. But I have really, read Agatha Christie, and I've written on her. I've written, book reviews of her books, and I really enjoy her writing very much.
Yeah. I also, I'm like in with you this. Okay.
Yes,
Any,
yes.
you have already told me, but for the audience who are joining again, like now they are joining and many comments are coming, so you can check them out
Okay,
later. Any new
okay.
project you are working on currently?
Yes, I'm working on two projects simultaneously. One is a novel which is set in the 80s. It is starting from 80s and it's going on to the end of 2010. And it's the story of a girl, a young girl, who elopes and marries against her parents' wishes. And the kinds of challenges she faces, the growth she has, what happens in her life. It's a novel based on the girl's life. Then there is another set of short stories I'm ready with, and these are adult stories, not not about young people. Uh, these short stories I plan to add to. I have just written about 6 of them. I plan to write a few more and then publish them as a collection based on a theme of loneliness or the theme of alienation or something like that. So these two are my upcoming projects. I'm really looking for a good publisher because I know if I receive support, then I really can do very well. So I'm looking for a good publisher.
Yeah, I hope you get one because
Thank you.
ours is a contemporary publisher. Maybe you can check out the website and find out the details.
Sure, sure,
And
sure. Yeah.
currently, we are just giving out one traditional deal to a woman poet. I haven't started the project yet. Soon I'll start.
Yes, yes.
And then next year, I plan to give one traditional deal to a woman of, like who is writing a short story, maybe, or a novel.
Okay, okay, okay.
I'm
That's
also
very good.
going slow because these are like, crucial years of my children. So I'm being
Very
with
true.
them.
The publisher's work is not easy either because nobody is reading. So even to make people read is a task in itself. So actually,
Yeah.
the whole process has undergone a paradigm shift. Now things are so different that and people's attention span. That is why I write short stories. Because most people don't have time to read even one page. So a short story is of about maybe 8 to 10 pages. At least if a person can finish a short story, then it keeps up the reading habit. So I think at least if short stories can be, encourage people to read, that is what I feel we should do.
Sure, sure. So, okay, Barnali, anything you want to say to the aspiring authors who are willing to, they are taking the first step towards maybe writing or
Yes,
maybe
I have in fact given a lot of Muft Ka Gyan in all the book fairs to young authors, and I'll give here or two. One thing I would like to specify, I am an editor first and a writer later. So what I do is I pick up mistakes. I have read plenty of people's work which is full of grammatical or thematical or spelling mistakes. Now, that is not done. Whatever is the quality of your book, of your story, you must make sure that at least it is very well edited, very well proofread, and it has absolutely no errors. In fact, one of my peeves with my current publisher is that she has made a publishing error despite my pointing it out. And it is there. She has repeated 2 lines, and I told her, "Don't do it in the next copies. Please make sure it's not done." Because it was I edited my own stuff, I think about 10 times before giving it to her. So that is one thing I'm very particular about. Second thing is that you must always keep one eye on the market and one eye on what you really feel about. So it's a compromise between what sells and what you feel strongly about.
Yeah.
And that is my advice to young authors, that you should always, keep an eye on contemporary literature, what is selling, what issues are going on. In fact, young authors or new authors should always have a pulse on the finger of the reader. What do they want? Yes, a lot of people want a lot of crazy things like, sleazy things or pulp fiction and things like that. We can't write that. But then try to achieve a middle path, try to cater to the widest possible people, because it's going to help your book. I can't, so I'm mentioning this as my limitation. Your book should appeal to a large number of people, because then you'll have an audience, you have reader base from 8 to 80.
Okay. Nice. So there's a comment from Siddharth Roy who's saying, look forward to more book reading and interviews with all the authors here, maybe a book club. So that is quite an interesting comment and advice. And I would say that if you have any suggestions of more authors, I would be happy to interview, because I'm also trying to do a little bit of, like helping those authors who are indie and also self-published, because I know this is a very challenging journey. And being a contemporary publisher, my modus operandi is a little different. My aesthetics are a bit different, so maybe I would be happy to help some authors also, publishing them in the future.
Yes. We are looking forward to your growing by leaps and bounds, Mona Lisa, so that you can support new authors and because we can all hold each other's hands and raise each other to glory. Isn't it?
Yeah. I am a very strong believer of this quote. I read it long back, that we are all walking each other home. And I believe in this. Although, sometimes your kindness and your, being supportive is taken in a very different way.
So, exactly.
But I don't really bother too much. I just keep myself involved with one thing or the other.
Absolutely. I completely agree. Completely agree.
Absolutely.
Because see, the way you have supported me, and the way you first bought my book, you did this podcast, I am really appreciating you. And in future, I will also try to be of help to you, and maybe recommend you to some of my author friends also.
Sure. That would be lovely. And today the session has gone really good. So many people have joined. So thank you all of those who are joining. And also you can share this video later. This will be coming through YouTube and also through Spotify. And Barnali, thank you so much for joining joining
Thank
today.
you.
And
Thank
I'm
you. My
again
pleasure.
requesting all.
It was really interesting. The time went by without my realizing it. And it was a very interesting
Yeah,
chat. I didn't feel, I hope I didn't, talk too much and bore people. But it was really,
I think
very
people
good,
are
nice
enjoying. That's
experience.
why you can just check out the comments. They are really enjoying. You can just check out the
Okay.
comments later.
Okay. Okay. I'll do that. I'll do that. Thank you,
Okay, so
Mona Lisa.
bye. Have a great evening.
Yeah, bye, and look forward to keeping in touch with you.
Sure, absolutely.
Sure. Good
Bye.
night.
Good night. So that was Barnali Roy I interviewed today, and you can check out her book, Fragrance of Dried Flowers. I think it's available on Amazon, or maybe you can connect with her. It's a small bit of connecting and promoting self published and indie authors, and I'm also open to interview traditional authors out there. And also, you can check out our website, Chrysanthemum Chronicles, that's my publishing house, and check out some books. There are many good books there. So, this is me, Mona Lisa Joshi, signing off. Have a good evening, all. Take care.